So yeah, I think that's a really interesting point there, and I kind of want to dig a little further on that. Is um, I think we think very similarly on social tokens, right? What do you think are the pros and cons for social tokens, and comparing that to NFTs? Because, like I said, I think we think very similarly, but I'd love to hear your thoughts about it first, and then I'll opine on mine.
Yeah, I think the first thing is the regulations. So like if for I think for like social tokens, it's going to happen the same way as NFTs happened in adoption, which is you're going to have to get small creators that are more Web3 native to start launching their own social tokens. But then the catch 22 here is that those small creators don't have these legal teams or managers to support them in launching these, complicated products. Whereas NFTs, it's a lot easier since you don't have to worry about regulations or anything. Yeah, I just feel like social tokens are not really scalable. And then the second con for social tokens, in my opinion, is there's not like one platform that has really nailed down the formula and made it like really easy for creators to launch, but also for their communities to onboard. I feel like most platforms right now are KYC'd, which kind of like cuts down the adoption rate for social tokens.
Yeah, to take that one step further, I every time I think about social tokens, I just feel like your your incentives are misaligned, right? Like as the creator, right, I will own the most at the beginning, right? And as I'm creating more value, and let's say I want to make some more money or monetize, I have to sell my stake down to less and less, right? So each time I, let's say, monetize, I'm incentivized less to keep creating because I have less of a stake in the future value, right? But
Right.
then with NFTs, is like if you're getting a percentage of royalties, then like you're incentivized to keep creating value because you're always going to have it, right? So like to me, it's like long term, like what happens to social tokens long term, right? Do you want to create inflation in order to make up for that, right? But like that also doesn't really vibe into the meme of crypto either. So to me, like that's always the one thing I can't wrap my head around. That like to me, kind of besides like what you just said with regards to securities laws and scalability in that sense, is like your incentives are just misaligned, right? Because I'm giving stuff away at a low price, trying to create future value for people that believe in
Exactly.
me, and then like I'm going to be continuously selling at lower prices. So like to me, that's like the thing that like just always makes my head like kind of explode around social tokens.
Yeah, I think there's like some way you can work around that with like staking perks, where you reduce the float of the supply. But you could also do the same thing with NFTs, where if you wanted to token gate some content, you can use an NFT and stake that NFT in order to like access that content. So you don't really need social tokens in that sense as well. And then you could also replace it with like the ERC 1155 standard, which is basically like 721 plus the ERC 20, which is probably even more scalable for like instead of social tokens.